Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. Hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine. Thank you, guys, for joining me this early morning. Of course, guys, the night after the absolute chaos, what was last night, and Manchester United drawing 4-4 with Bournemouth last night. It was an opportunity missed. Another bottle job for Manchester United. Another chance not taken again. And this has been the theme of Manchester United over many years now. And whenever we have a chance to go above and take advantage and, get that little bit of momentum, we don't take it. We seem to be going into our shell and we don't have the mentality. And it's exactly what I've been preaching all season. We don't have the mentality in this squad. The personnel are not good enough in regards to being brave, holding on to leads, and being professional, being tight, being hard to beat, being hard to break down. Look, we can look at those players and we can look at the makeshift defense. We've got a makeshift defense. Yeah, we've got two youngsters in defense. We've got Aidan Heaven and we've got Lenny Yoro. That can play a part. Of course it can. But some of the goals that we conceded yesterday were unacceptable. The midfield was, again, non-existent. Now, I will always bring this back to Ineos. I would always bring this back to the Glazers. Why did we not fix that midfield in the summer? The midfield is quite obviously weak. It is wide open. Look, Bruno had an assist and he had a goal. Brilliant free kick from Bruno. But overall, again, he's not a number 8. And we can't carry on playing Bruno Fernandes as number 8 and expect us to get results. What did yesterday prove to me? Yesterday proved to me, again, it clarified and reiterated the stance that it's not tactics. It's not tactics that is Man United. It's not a 4-3-3. It's not a 3-4-2-1. That is the problem. Because we went to a 4-3-3 yesterday and we were wide open. Again, exactly what I said. We have been Bagel FC for a long time, guys. We have been wide open in that midfield for a very, very long time. When Erik ten Hag was there, we were wide open in midfield, guys. Don't turn around to me and say we weren't conceding 4 against Crystal Palace, because we were. Look, team selection, what can you do? It was the right team he selected. Didn't have any bones with the team that he selected. Of course, obviously, the same issue with Bruno Fernandes is the only real issue I have with the team at the moment. It is what it is. It is what we have, But, overall, it should be good enough to beat Bournemouth, right? But at the end of the day, Bournemouth haven't won in 6 games. And it's a game that we should have taken advantage of. We should have taken advantage of the game and we would be joint 4th right now. Again, during the game, it really epitomizes what Man United are. Man United go behind, Man United go ahead, they lose the lead, they end up going ahead again, they lose the lead, they go behind, they equalize, and they get a lifeline and they take the lead. And this epitomizes what Manchester United are, not taking that opportunity when it was there. When it went to 4-3, most of us are saying, let's get the 5th. Let's get the 5th. Because during the game, it was like, you know what? We need another goal. We need another goal. We needed to be 2 away from Bournemouth. That's what it was. Again, a culmination of missed chances, mistakes, lack of concentration. I mean, when you look at the Bournemouth goals, none of those Bournemouth goals I would look at apart from maybe the free kick and say, you know what? That was a great goal. That was a brilliant goal. You know what I mean? They carved us open there. We couldn't do nothing about it. It was too easy for Bournemouth to break our line. Too easy for Bournemouth to break our defence. And a big part of that is down to the midfield. A big part of that. This is what we was preaching at the beginning of the season. It's what we were saying at the beginning of the season. Our club is becoming an absolute joke at the moment. We can't take opportunities. We've got people offering each other out in a car park. Again, what's going on? Is this Manchester United? Is this what we're all about? Fighting in the car park amongst each other. Is that what Man United are all about? Is that what I was raised on? Is that what the thing is? Because at the end of the day, what does that do? It over-sensationalizes and over-inflates the banter that we are at the moment. Look, I know a draw against Bournemouth, it's an improvement from what the last 2 seasons. We lost 3-0 there twice. But it's the way we play, how easy we are to be carved open, in particular at Old Trafford, by the way. at Old Trafford. This is what we were talking about, Old Trafford becoming this fortress. In particular, at Old Trafford, we are easy to score against. We are easy to break down. We missed De Ligt. If anything proved how important Matthijs De Ligt is, it's a game like this. You see his leadership. You see his last-ditch tackles. He probably would have won a couple of more games, maybe against Brighton and this game, if Matthijs De Ligt was playing. Matthijs De Ligt is a big miss. Fantastic to have Licha Martinez back. But our defense, when Licha Martinez came on, was a little bit lopsided because we had two left-sided defenders in the team. But what I would say is that, again, it's nothing I didn't expect. The weaknesses in Man United were exposed again, and it is down to Ineos to fix this. It's down to the Glazers to fix this in January. They need to back him. They need to back him. Guys, we're doing one thing, right? What's that? We're scoring goals, guys. We're scoring goals. You know? Now, that's the hardest thing to do in football, is to score goals. The hardest thing to do in football is to score goals, and we're scoring goals. Now, we shore up that defense. We become a little bit more difficult to score against. We're going to be all right, guys. We're going to be all right. But I'm tired. I'm fed up. I feel disappointed because obviously we keep getting these false dawns, these promises that keep coming around the corner. And we're like, oh, good. Finally, we can get in that top four. We're going to be joint with Chelsea. Let's do this. You know, we get our chest out and stuff like that. And then they let us down again. They bottle it again. You know, again. How many times I've seen this same old scenario, this same old Netflix series. I've seen it over and over again. The same old drop, you know, opportunity arises, drop points, opportunity arises, drop points. It's an absolute madness, you know. And when we went to 4-3, I thought, okay, 83 minutes, 4-3, we've done it. By hook or by crook, we've done it. Is it sustainable? Definitely not. But we got the win. But then, obviously, we can't hold on to that win, can we? We can't hold on to it. We can't defend, you know, and it goes on and on. Now, I want to talk about the referee. I felt yesterday, I've seen some poor refereeing in my time. I felt that was one of the most diabolical, biased, criminal refereeing I've seen in my 40 years of watching football and watching Manchester United. I felt that refereeing performance was absolutely disgraceful. I'm not using it as an excuse, guys, right? Because anything can happen anyway. But I'm not using an excuse. But these things do matter. In the grand scheme of things, these things do matter. The referee was absolutely atrocious, biased, criminally. Fraud is the word that comes to mind. Fraud. That's what it was. You can hit someone in the neck and not get a red card these days. You could handball twice in the penalty area with your hand up and not get a penalty. You know, the Premier League is dealt with fine margins. All it takes is a little bit of a boost for the opposition team and the whole game gets flipped upside down. And that's what happens. And a referee does contribute to these kind of things, right? I don't like talking about the referees. I don't, because I know that the referee's against us. I've known it since Premier League started, to be honest with you. But the referee yesterday, he epitomized something. And it hit home even further for me that these referees are corrupt. And I'm saying it right now, because at the end of the day, I've seen Casemiro grab someone's collar and get a red card, right? But yesterday, I saw someone get struck in the neck with a bloody karate blow to the neck and no red card. There's a couple of things that I take from that. There's a couple of things. Number one, we need to be cleverer. Dalot, whether you like it or not, it's the way life is. You've got to start rolling around holding your neck, mate. Number one. Bruno needs to go to the referee and say, ref, that is a red card. VAR. Hit him on the neck. He needs to force that. Man United need to... We know the referee was against us yesterday. So what did Man United used to do? What did Man United used to do? People may not agree with it, but what did Man United used to do when the referee was against Man United? We would intimidate them. They don't like us. So intimidate them. That's what it is. I'm seeing more intimidation in a car park than Man United on the bloody football pitch. That's what I'm seeing. We need to intimidate. We need to be scary. Say, ref, Bruno, you're captain. You go up to that referee and say, no. VR, hit him on the neck. Put pressure on him. Put pressure on the referee. Put pressure. We didn't put any pressure on the referee. Referee felt like he could rock up to Old Trafford and do whatever he wanted yesterday. From the minute one all the way to the end of the game, he thought he could do absolutely anything he wanted to, you know? But I want people to remember this, guys. I don't want people just to go into the old chestnut on regards to tactics and the manager, because I don't really put this on the manager. I don't. I put this on individual mistakes. I put this on sloppiness. I put this on lack of concentration. I put this on, believe it or not, on lack of work ethic. You know, when you're on a pitch, running is one of those things. And this is why I put Cunha as my man of the match, because I felt Cunha ran more. Cunha pressed. You know, and that's why I put him as my man of the match. I know that Bruno got an assist and he'll get the accolades with a free kick. But overall, we were wide open in that midfield again. And as much as we score goals in the other end, we don't fix that midfield or do something about the Bruno situation. We're going to concede more like that. We're going to do it again and again and again. And it's going to be a reoccurring theme, guys. Guys, don't forget to smash a like on the stream if you guys can kindly do that for me. I really appreciate everyone who's joined me this morning. Of course, guys, you're absolute legends. Let's talk, guys. Let's talk. Let's have a little chat, guys. Big up, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you, Saviour. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good morning, Sal. So, big up. We have managed to score 30 goals half this season. That means the strikers are working, but the defence is the problem. Check the goals we allowed yesterday. Poor defending, poor midfield, mate. How did the players break the lines? How did they get into this? It's a combination of two things. Inexperience in defence and the midfield. The midfield was Bagel FC. It was wide open. Games are lost in midfield. And that is where we drew the game yesterday. And in other games as well, our midfield is simply not good enough. It's not athletic enough. It's not quick enough. We don't tackle. We're all over the place. We're all disciplined. And I'm not going to individualize it. We all know what the problem is. I'm not going to individualize it because I don't think that's fair anymore. But what I would say is that the midfield is the problem. It's quite obvious and evident, your problem. Saviour, let's support Amram in January, we hope. Sign 2 players for him and see how Man United will start playing good football. Amram is showing what he can do with quality players. Exactly, Saviour. I'm glad, Saviour, that you pick up the positives because we are playing some tasty football too. I'm not going to completely rule that out. We are playing some good football. In the first half, we were absolutely dominating a very good Bournemouth side, guys. We were dominating them. It was our defensive side from the midfield and the defense that has the problem. Too many are pressing at the top end of the pitch, which is leaving Casemiro exposed. Even Casemiro was in the final third at sometimes. He was in the final third of the pitch. And then, you know, all it takes is a counter-attack and then we're in trouble. And then when you've got players, obviously like Semenyo and you've got to play these kind of players, they can cause damage. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Kenny, good morning. Ineos better back Amram now. Don't want to see any excuses from Ineos. Absolutely. Big up Sam. Big up Kenny. Absolutely agree with that. Absolutely. Big up. I mean, the Ineos Defence League. They're absolutely pathetic, guys. I'll be honest. The Ineos Defence League are pathetic. Anyone who defends Ineos after that window, oh my goodness me. People think that Ineos had a good window. I mean, I don't know what you're smoking, man. Absolutely. Big up Sam. Could be better, mate. Could be better. I'm not kicking out against the system of playing like from Amram, but it's like someone with no hands trying to play a piano. We don't have midfielders and good defenders, and the way system this will work. No way this system works. No way any system will work. Went to a 4-3-3. We're more open with a 3-4-2-1 yesterday, mate. We're more open than that. We're more open with a 3 in the midfield than we are with the formation that Ruben Amram plays. And I'll tell you why. Because we actually have wing backs and we actually play a 5. Why do you think people are playing that? Why do you think we kept conceding goals under Eric Ten Hag? Why do you think the 4-3-3 doesn't work? We conceded how many goals when the 4-3-3 went in? And we played it yesterday, you know. Alex Ferguson always said attack, will win you as defenders or win your trophies. It is obvious we lack attributes that will win us trophies anytime soon. We lack midfielders, mate. That's what we lack. You were right, Sal, last night. Exposure United's issues are far beyond tactics. It's a player mentality. That's part of it, absolutely. The player mentality, all bars one, is an absolute problem at Man United at the moment. That does play a role. It gets ignored about the mentality of the football team. Obviously, people look at things in a physical form. They don't really look at what's going up there. There is a problem in Man United in regards to, guys, it is a problem in regards to that, in my opinion. Absolutely. Sam, the idea of some defenders every time he's killing the games, I don't think so. I think we needed to. The players were tired. Check the record every time he changed defenders, we ended up drawing or losing the game. We were losing and drawing anyway, mate, without the substitution. We were losing 3-2 before the substitutions, mate. Good morning, Sanjay. Big up. The girl Gaffer, big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. It's a wonderful game for us neutrals and rivals. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was a very good game. Man United are very entertaining these days. Funny enough, isn't it? Absolutely. Big up, Kenny. The nearly drew to Wolves. That's some shame. I mean, yeah, they did nearly draw to Wolves, didn't they? At least, but you know what? This is what I would say, guys, in regards to football in general, right? Just like people were criticising Man United for beating Wolves 4-1 and we conceded a goal and we didn't bring us elation and all that, I'm not going to criticise Arsenal for beating Wolves 2-1. It just reiterates the fact that the Premier League is difficult. And this is what I'm talking about. It just confirms the fact that, you know what, winning a game in the Premier League is not a given. Winning 4-1 in any team, in any league, against anyone is a good result. I don't care if Man United are playing Wolves, Man United are playing Shrewsbury Town. If it's 4-1, it's a good result. And this is what people need to understand. Arsenal won the game and they won. And that's how you win leagues, isn't it? You win games. Even if you win 2-1 or you're lucky, the luck, you make your own luck, isn't it? And look, that's why I felt that the Wolves result was a good result, because obviously Wolves are not as bad. And I said it during the watch along at that time. The Wolves result wasn't as bad as people think, because you look at Wolves and they haven't been slapped up this season. The only time they were really slapped up was against Man United. And there you go. Absolutely. I can't believe they want Amram out for changing things. I mean, anyone who wants to blame the manager for yesterday's result is just delusional, mate. It's delusional. He went to a 4-3-3. We conceded more goals. You know what I mean? Girl Gaffer, who said I didn't have shame? Big up, guys. Big up. This is not an Arsenal day, guys. Big up, Benny. What's going on, my friend? Popper Tin Squad. Popper Thin Squad. Yeah, Tin Pot as well, mate. Absolutely, definitely. Big up, Benny. Yes, Popper Thin Squad needs to be backed in January. And ultimately, I'm looking at the defense. We got a very young defense, guys. I don't think Luke Shaw's good enough. I don't think Luke Shaw's a left-sided centre-back. I don't believe it. He's not good enough. He lets Semenyo go. And Dalot, I don't think is good enough defensively. And I've said it for a long time. We get attacked a lot down that left-hand side, and we have been attacked down that left-hand side quite a lot of times, you know. It's not just them. Of course, they do get exposed from that midfield. I'll say it again. I'm going to be fair. You know, they do get exposed a lot from that midfield. That midfield is wide open, and we never looked assured. It's one key thing, one key factor that I look at when I look at Man United. We're never in control. We're never in control. And where do you control games? It's the midfield. You control games. You take the pressure of the strikers. You take the pressure of the defense as well. That's what a midfielder should do. That's what a midfield should do. It should take the pressure from the defense. It shouldn't put your defense under pressure. It should take the pressure from. It's all about controlling the midfield in there. Now, Man United need to find a balance. You know, it's nothing to do with the 4-2-1. It's nothing to do with the 4-3-3. Man United need personnel. Casemiro's not athletic enough to play in any midfield. His legs are gone. Bruno is not a central midfielder. And no matter if you play a 4-3-3, a 4-4-2, a 4-5-1, it's not going to change anything. It's not going to change anything. Ultimately, if we play a 4 at the back, we're still going to have Dalot and Shaw as the backs. Or we're going to still have Dorgu and Dalot. We're still going to have these players at the back. They're either not ready or just not good enough. Dalot's not good enough for me. I don't think he's a good enough fullback for me. I don't. Whether he's been playing a little bit better or not, he's all right in the final third a little bit. But when it gets to defending, I just don't think he's very intelligent defensively. I don't. And I think that whether you play a 4 at the back or you play a 3 at the back, Dalot is a problem. And our fullbacks are a problem. Ahmad is not a wing back. I've said it again. He's not a wing back. He's, you know, and he's not defensively. He's not naturally a defensive player, if you know what I mean. He's an attacking player. His main instinct is to attack. You know what I mean? And he's not a defensive player. Wondering where were those merchants, 433 merchants? I swear they short memories. Mate, the 433 merchants won't come on here and tell us how many goals we conceded when we went to 433. Some of us who have been watching football for a very long time, we've been watching under Eric Ten Hag, and before that, know that the 433 is a Bagel FC part 2. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we concede more goals when we go to a 433. Every time Bournemouth got the ball and the 433, they look like scoring a goal. I'm not saying that the three at the back or was better or not, but it's not. In either formation, let me tell you this right now. In either formation, 3 at the back, 4-3-3, we don't have the players. People don't quite understand it. We don't have the players for any formation. What we going to do? Play Bruno, Mainu, and Casemiro in that 3 in the midfield in a 4-3-3? Are we going to do that? That's going to be great, isn't it? That's going to be great. That's going to be wonderful that we're going to have 3 Bruno, Mainu, and Casemiro in the midfield. Welcome to bloody Bagel FC, guys. Welcome to Bagel FC, because that's exactly what it was. And if anything yesterday, any positives came out yesterday from that game, it was the fact that the 4-3-3 doesn't make a shitload of difference at all. And that's what I would say about that. If Man United were to change it, it's not a 4-3-3 anyway. It's a 4-2-3-1. I don't want a 4-3. It doesn't work. Man United don't play a 4-3-3. People talk about Man United traditionally don't play a back 3. Man United traditionally didn't play a 4-3-3. Man United played 4-4-2. You know? Man United need signings in that midfield, regardless what anyone says. We need controllers. We need confidence. We need athleticism. We need that in that midfield, guys. That's what Man United need. You know, Man United don't have control in that midfield. And that is way beyond the 3-4-2-1 or 4-3-3 or 4-5-1 or 4-2-3-1, whatever it is. Man United don't have control in that midfield, guys. They don't have control. We never seem to be in control. Now, I don't like bringing in Arsenal or any teams like that into the stream, but I like to talk about, and to be fair, when I watch Arsenal, I see an element of control, right? I see an element of control in the game, regardless what people think. They're always in control, if you know what I mean. They're always in control. They always know what they're doing and stuff like that. Man United come across a little bit kamikaze. They come across like, you know what I mean? We're winging it at the moment. There, we got a goal. What we do now? What do we do now? It's a bit like that. And this comes from player intelligence. I'm pretty certain Ruben Amorim didn't send those players out there last night, and say, right, now you got to fall asleep, and every time that Bournemouth attack, you got to, you know, Bruno, you got to be all the way up the pitch and leave the midfield wide open so that Semenyo and Scott and all these players can attack you, you know, and you know, there you go, you know. Emski. This is a good point from Emski. During the game, Amra made changes in the system from 3-4-3 to 4-4-2 to 4-3-3. It's not the bloody system tactics, mentality and control. We don't have a midfielder who could dictate the game. Emski, guys, give it up for Emski. An absolutely brilliant comment there. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you so much. The personnel in the 4-3-4-3, 4-4-2, 4-3-3. We do not have the personnel to do the job in any formation. We do not have the intelligence. We do not have the concentration. We do not have the fitness. We do not have the athleticism. We do not have the IQ to play any formation. It doesn't matter what formation you put out there. If you haven't got the players in midfield, you're going to struggle in any formation. There's teams in League One, League Two, the Conference League, the National League, whatever it is, guys, that play a 4-3-3, but they're crap. Why? Because they've got bad players. Bad players does play a part. Bruno's not a bad player. I'm not saying that. But Bruno is certainly not a midfielder. He's certainly not a central midfielder. Casemiro is 2 years overdue leaving Man United. He's played too long at Man United in the Premier League. He's not fit enough to play in the Premier League. His legs have gone. Christopher Reeve FC, he's gone. He's got no legs. It's over. He needs to be gone, guys, at the end of the day. Man United need fresh blood in there. The Waltons, the Belabers, the Andersons. That's what Man United need. Man United don't need to keep playing the same record over and over again, expecting different results with the same midfield, 4-3-3, 3-4-2-1, blah, blah, blah. The same old excuses. And that's not concentrating on what really matters, guys. It's unbelievable. Big up, Emski. Great comment. Should have been out of sight at half-time, Benny. Absolutely. We forget that we came out in the second half 20 where we're just fall off. But we do it all the time. Benny. This is a problem with Man United, of course. We seem to do it all the time, guys. We seem to go within our shell. Moments in games. It's not a particular moment. Generally, it's in the second half. But moments in games, patches in games, we go missing. And we said that. We mentioned it throughout the game. We go, are we in our 20-minute period? Are we in that 20, 30-minute period? Are we in that period now? It seems like we're in that period. It seems like we already expect it, isn't it? We already expect that we're going to have those moments in games where we're just going to go completely missing. We're going to capitulate. And this is what happens at Man United. And, this I would look at and say, I would ask Ruben Amorim, Ruben, we need to sort this out. This thing where we're going missing for 20, 30 minutes. I need to sort this out. You know what I mean? Emski. Amorim is the right coach. No coach can improve this club. We need investment in all positions. I agree, Emski. And I'm glad Emski has come on here and spat the gospel today because he's preaching to the choir, guys. Emski's preaching to the choir today, guys. Absolutely. Emski is Whoopi Goldberg. Can I get an amen? But absolutely. Emski is absolutely killing it. Yeah, he's right. We can't improve unless we have better players on the pitch. We can't improve unless we fix this squad. This squad is weak. Some of these players have been playing for Man United since 2014. When did Luke Shaw sign for Man United? 2014 is Luke Shaw when he signed for Man United. 2014. Unbelievable. We went to a 4-3-3, mate. It went to a 4-3-3, Sam. It's nothing to do with the system. System is a dumb opinion. The system, it's nothing to do with that. Went to a 4-3-3. We were wide open. It's nothing to do with that. It's player personnel in any position. We play anything. Dalot's not a good fullback, even in the 4. Dorgu's not ready. Ahmad's not a fullback. What's he going to play? Right back? Come on. We ain't got any players, guys. Nothing to do with the system. It's to do with the personnel. That's all it is. In 4-3-3, in 4-2-3-1, in any formation, it's do fullback. Everyone don't know that. It was proven yesterday, And at the end of the day, unless he gets backed, we're going to foul in any formation. We fouled in a 4-3-3 under Eric Ten Hag. The saving grace right now is that we were scoring goals in a 3-2-4, in a 3-4-2-1 yesterday, weren't we? We were scoring goals. We're starting to score goals. But in defensively, we're weak. And in the midfield, we're weak. Whether we play a 4-3-3, whether we play a 3-4-2-1, it doesn't matter. Because in the midfield, we are weak. And that's it. The wing-backs are weak as well. Yeah, the wing-backs are weak as well. But the full-backs will be weak in a 4. Because we ain't got a 4 either. So it isn't just about the 4-3-3 or the 3-4-2-1. It's about formations in general. Man United don't have the players for any formation. We don't have a squad. Who are we going to play right back? Ahmad? Is that what we're going to do? It's not going to happen, mate. Fix the team in January will help. Absolutely. Amorim a lot is a good coach. Support him. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good morning, Sal. The midfield is the biggest problem. Absolutely. The defense and goalkeeper were exposed. I think. Look, in fairness to Seny Lamens, I don't think he did anything wrong. I think the goals went in. He couldn't save any of those goals. He actually saved us in the end. It was actually Seny Lamens who was the reason we didn't lose that game. Thankfully, it was Seny Lamens who made some worldies. That's why I gave him a 6.5 in the end in the ratings. I gave him a 6.5 because I felt that Seny Lamens in the end of the game. I know he conceded 4 goals, but Seny Lamens actually saved us in that game at the end. He's a young goalkeeper. Right, he's not the finished article, but he made some brilliant saves. I would say world-class saves in that game. He couldn't save the goals that went in. It had nothing to do with him. I would argue that at the end, the only one I could question him for was the free kick because I felt like the ball was only going to go in that direction. So I felt like that was the only one. But yeah, no. Lack of leaders, Sal, all over the ref made it hard for everyone. Look, I said it, Benny. Look, I don't like coming on here and mentioning referees, but you have to mention the referee because the games are decided on fine margins here. Look, if Bournemouth get a red card, Man United 9 times out of 10 are going to go and win that game. Semenyo's a big player for them as well. Him being sent off for a neck bloody strike on Dallo. Unbelievably didn't get sent off. And not only that, the penalties. Let's forget about the red card. Let's talk about the penalties that should have been. We should have had a couple of penalties in that game. I mean, apparently you could put your arm up now and it's not a penalty. It's absolutely disgraceful. The referee was just ignoring everything that came Man United's way. I said it after the first goal, guys. The referee gave a grimace. I don't know if anyone saw it, but he gave this little like grimace. Do you know what I mean? Not Amram's fault. Individual mistakes, absolutely. Absolutely. Big up. Absolutely. The board making a bad coach. If Amram was a Chelsea Man City coach, he would have been flying higher because if Amram was the manager of Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, he would have trophies in the cabinet right now, mate. You know, he would have trophies in the cabinet right now. He is a very, very good manager. We are a very, very badly run football club. Simple as that. There you go. In a nutshell, that's what we are. You know what I mean? Ephraim, big up, Sal. The performance was good, but we need to kill games off when we lead. It's a mentality thing. We need to hold on to leads as well, of course. Big up, Kula. What's going on, my friend? The Morning Devils. It was really great display last night, but the only problem was that our defense, unfortunately, had a stinker. And midfield, Kula. Midfield was wide open. Let's not forget the midfield. Let's not just blame the kids at the back because they, you know what, Aiden Heaven and Euro, they're young. It's going to be difficult. They're going to be great players. I thought that Aiden Heaven, the way he brought that ball out sometimes out of defense and brought it into midfield, I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. Really reminded me of a prime Marcel Desailly or Sol Campbell or someone like that. It was absolutely brilliant. However, I would say that the midfield is the problem. And the defense are not being protected by that midfield. Yeah, the defense. Guys, there's a couple of things. Let me just say, I don't think Luke Shaw is a left-sided centre-back. This is why Bournemouth went down that side quite a lot. If you look at the game, Bournemouth went down our left-hand side quite a lot because Dalot and Shaw are not good defensively. So they went down that side a lot. But they were not protected on their corner. They were not protected in regards to that midfield. No one protected them. And that's what I would say. And the midfield should act as a shield. You know what I mean? But we're not. We're not a shield, mate. We're absolutely not. We're a candy floss. It's like we've got a couple of candy flosses in midfield. We might as well. Absolutely. Good morning, Sal. We lacked Delict. Yes, and Maguire's experience at the back. Sometimes we do, mate. Definitely Delict. Heaven and Euro will be great in a couple of years. At the moment, learning about mistakes. Sure, count lead, sleep effort. I mean, Revert 7, spot on, mate. Can't disagree with that. Big up, Revert 7. I hope you're doing well. I can't disagree with that, mate. You're absolutely spot on there. Luke Shaw doesn't concentrate. Luke Shaw is slow. Luke Shaw's not a centre-back. He's definitely a wing back or left back. He's not a centre-back. I would argue that with anyone. I would much rather have Delict in that defence with Aiden Heaven as a left-sided centre-back or Leacher as a left-sided centre-back, of course. Good to see Leacher back, you know, and hopefully he could be in that left-sided centre-back, adding a little bit of experience in there, of course. I do want to see Luke Shaw moved out of that football club. I do. It's been 2014, guys. We're looking at 11, 12 years now. Luke Shaw has been at Man United and made it. I can actually make a book or create a series about an amount of mistakes Luke Shaw has made, you know. And to be honest with you, he doesn't help the young players. Yes, you're absolutely right. Lenny Oro and Aiden Heaven will be ready in a couple of years. They're not the finished article, but I think they will be world-class defenders. I'm actually happy with them. But as you said there, they need nurturing. They need a couple of defenders in there. Delict is one of them, but Luke Shaw is not that guy. Luke Shaw will teach you the wrong things. Luke Shaw will rub off on you. And Luke Shaw will end up, you know what, contributing to you conceding a goal. Look, I'm not saying that Luke Shaw isn't tenacious. He doesn't get back. He tackles. He gets the tackling. He's good at, you know, concentration sometimes. But he's also bad at it at the same time. Sometimes he just has these bozo moments where he just goes missing and he can't track back. He's too slow. So when he pushes up, he's too slow. If you get a Semenyo, right, and you let Semenyo go, you're gone. Luke Shaw's not catching up with him. You're gone. And there were a number of times in that Bournemouth game where Bournemouth were having a field day in that area. And obviously the midfield didn't help. I would reiterate that and I'll clarify that the midfield didn't help yesterday. They were absolutely useless. Absolutely useless. Absolutely. Sam, they want Amram to win matches without providing those tools. He needs to succeed. It's like sending someone to war with no weapons to fight for the show. It's like sending someone into a sword fight with a breadstick, isn't it? And that's exactly what I've been preaching for before the game. And before that, and before that, and before that. Cristiano Ronaldo said it, the GOAT. Cristiano Ronaldo said it, that you're expecting miracles from the manager. You're expecting miracles from Ruben Amram. What do you want him to do? You know what I mean? Guys, I predicted a lot of goals, not 4-4 goal. No, I don't think anyone predicted 4-4, mate. I think if you predicted 4-4, mate, you're an oracle, mate. Absolutely. And yeah, the issue with CM is still there. Casemiro treats the ball like a potato, and Bruno is like a headless chicken. Bruno needs to move into the number 10 or nothing. I would say that. And I'm going to reiterate that. And I've said it a lot of time. It's no detriment to Bruno as a player. Bruno has been Man United's best signing since Alex Ferguson retired. But there comes a time when you look at it and say, right, is he good for the team? Right? And he's not the only one. I'd talk about. He's a world-class moments player. Right? A moments player. Like the free kick. Brilliant. But overall, does he contribute to the game in regards to controlling the game? And I think I have to take this very slowly because people think, oh, you're so attacking Bruno, because there is a Bruno FC brigade out there. So I would say, is he good at controlling the game? Does he contribute to keeping that midfield solid and in control? And my answer would be no, he doesn't. He's actually ill-disciplined in his midfield, which contributes to other teams counter-attacking us quite potently and easily, you know? Kula, the wall was terrible in that free kick. That was scored. Even moved out of the way for the. I mean, if I talk, Kula, I'll be in trouble. There were a number of things. I said it earlier in the show, guys. One of the first things I said in the show, the red card, right? Whether you think it's a red card or not, and I think everyone with a brain thinks it's a red card, apart from a few last night said, "Oh, it's not a red card," and come across say they're Man United fans. Guys, even rival fans are saying, how's that not a red card? Unbelievable. Right. So what I would say is that Bruno needed to, when that neck strike happened, Bruno needed to go to referee and intimidate the referee and say, listen, why are you not going to VAR? What's going on here? You're a fraud. What's going on? You're cheating. What's going on? This is cheating. You know, that's what he should have done. 70,000 people in there, mate. And I think Roy Keane said it very well. Prawn Sandwiches Brigade. We're not intimidating. 70,000 people sounded like a Sunday League game. We need to be more intimidating, guys. We need to be more intimidating every aspect of the game. The wall, however, let's bring it back to the wall in regards to the free kick from Bournemouth. It was, again, unorganized. What I would say about the wall is that we're sending amends. They're only going to go that way. Obviously, Yoro was blocking that side of the wall, the left side of the goal. So they were only going to go into, let's say, Lilleman's right side. So that should have been expected. That is up to the captain to make the decision that way. And when players are moving out in the way of the ball, and when players are jumping out in the way of the ball and not getting in the way of the ball, that is when, you know what, you have to question the captain, don't you? You know? And I reiterate, guys, and I clarify it. He is a world-class player on his day with moments. Let me correct that. He's a world-class moments guy, Bruno, right? Is he a controller of the game? Is he a dictator? Is he an Alexandro Pirlo? Is he that type of player? Absolutely, he's not. Is he an Iniesta? He's not. He's a kamikaze player. He's a player that can create you big things at the same time. With a Bruno, if you're going to play Bruno, you have to have a double pivot. It's as simple as that. You have to have two defensive midfielders. And I think we spoke about this during Eric Ten Hag's reign, that, you know what, you need a double pivot. Big up Slices of Sib. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Hey, we are consistent goal-wise. Now, that's plus in my books. Absolutely, Slices of Sib. If you're going to bring a positive out of things, guys, we are scoring more goals, but we're conceding now on the other end. We did have a good defensive record only a year ago. I think we were not bad in defense. It was the goal scoring which is the problem. But guys, let me just say something, right? This is why I'm so adamant that we need players. We need squad. This is why, because I don't think we're actually far away. Do you know what I mean? I don't think we're as far away as people think. We're scoring goals. We look dangerous. But defensively, we're not good. And that all round, that's the midfield that needs to be fixed. We need an Adam Wharton. We need an Anson. We need a Carlos Baleba. That's what we need at Man United. Absolutely, guys. We need these players at Man United. We do. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I think that is a good positive. That's a positive to bring into the show. Good to bring a little bit of a positivity to the show in regards to the goal scoring wise of things. But obviously, defenses, as we said earlier, wins you titles. And we need to fix that. Big up, Kay. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Hope everything is blessed with you, of course. Now let's work on the defensive side, teamwork wise. We need a proper tackles from defenders and midfielders, mate. We don't tackle. People are ignoring the midfield. It's not just the defense. They get exposed. If you're exposed, there's only so much you can do. Benny, Amram is working miracle with the squad. Too many simply not good enough. I agree. And hope people can see it now. It has been given if he had been given 2 midfielders, we have at least 7 more 8 points in the table. Mate, we were challenging for the league with Arsenal. I'm telling you right now with chest. If we was given 2 midfielders like we predicted in the summer, and I'm not talking about 500 million spent on the midfield. I'm talking about, 60 million maybe. Even if we didn't get an Adam Wharton or an Elliot Anderson or a Carlos Baleba, we could have got a Lucien Agume, we could have got a Lamine Kamara, we could have got a Yavi Guerra, we could have got a Yori Giza, we could have got a Kone from Roma. We could have got a lot of players in there. Do you know what I mean? Why didn't we do the business? Why didn't we do that? Do you know what I mean? It just beggars belief. It beggars belief. And, you've got teams like Sunderland who have better windows than us. And we're Man United who came 15th and we're supposed to be challenging for the league. I mean, what would Real Madrid do if they came 15th? They would bloody spend. I heard there were a few handballs from the Bournemouth. Is that right? From Bournemouth? Yes, in the penalty area, mate, which weren't given. Not only that, they should have had a red card. But let's forget about the red card. Man United should have had a couple of penalties, yes. Even just one. Even if we were given one, that would have been helped us, of course. But that is the problem with Man United, of course, guys. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sinead O'Donnell, welcome to the stream. I hope you're well. I agree with the assessment that the players are not getting Europe is a big problem because the overhaul means the overhaul. Look, you know what? It is a domino effect, Sinead. If Man United don't qualify for Europe this season, Man United are in a bit of a pickle, really. Man United need to qualify for Europe because whilst we don't qualify, in particular the Champions League, if we don't qualify for the Champions League, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, and Chelsea are going to get 100 million there. Whoever qualifies for the top 4 or top 5, they're going to get 100 million. They're going to just move further away from us. Do you know what I mean? We need to qualify for you. It's imperative. We're still in touching distance, thankfully. But what do? Do we rest on our laurels? Do we sit there and say, okay, we hope we get in the top 4? Or do we say, right, what's it going to take to go to that next level? What's it going to take to get in that top 4 and solidify our stance in that top 4? How is it going to happen? We have to back Ruben Amram. We have to say, what do you need, Ruben Amram? I need two midfielders. Let's bring him in. Now, I'm not saying go out there and spend 80 million on Anderson, 80 million on Adam Wharton. That's not going to happen. I know that's not going to happen. We might sign one of those in the summer. Why not go and get Conor Gallagher? Why not go and get someone of that ilk? Why not just get them? Because obviously, they will do a better job than Casemiro. I'll just be honest, guys. They would do a better job than Casemiro. I know what Casemiro is. I know Casemiro is a generational. I know he's one of the best CDMs in the last 15 years. I know. But he's just athleticism and fitness. His legs are gone. He's just not that player anymore. Do you know what I mean? Luke Shaw had a very good game last night, did he? I don't think so, mate. Lost the Workweight was good, but he lost his man every single time, mate. He lost for the first goal. He lost Semenyo. Ref and VAR is corrupt. Semenyo should have been red. That was a throat grab. It was a throat slash as well. He went like that and he hit him and he grabbed his throat. It's double. If that was Casemiro, that would have been a red card. Not even look. We said it yesterday. Revert 7. That's a red card. I'm not using excuses here, but look, we can bring the red card. We can bring in the penalties that should have been. Apparently, Revert. Apparently, you can have your hand up like that. You can have your hand up like that, apparently, right, and not get a penalty. Apparently, this is the thing. You can put your hand up like that and not get a penalty. Madness, absolute madness, guys. Benny, heaven and Euro will be the foundation. I had to laugh. Yes, guys, I had to laugh. I couldn't contain myself. I was just laughing at the decisions. I was like, my goodness me. If there was a book about corruption, here you go. Base it around this game there. You know what I mean? Heaven and Euro will be the foundation of the success. So you're absolutely, Benny. Spot on, mate. Spot on. The ref and VAR are diabolical. I mean, the same people are running VAR as the same people who hate Man United. So they're not going to give anything to Man United. And we've seen it over and over again last season. We've seen it this season so far as well. Absolutely. You say it's a midfield. Which midfield is the biggest question? Yeah. What midfield? We don't need a midfield. We're Man United. We don't need a midfield. We're Man United. We don't need a midfield. We're the midfield. We don't need legs. We don't need arms. We don't need legs. We don't need arms. We score goals when we want without legs and arms. We don't even need a head. We just need legs. We just need a torso. And we don't even need a torso. We score goals spiritually. That's how Man United are. At the end of the day, it's funny. You know what I mean? We don't need anything. Man United don't need players. We win. We win when we want. We don't need players. We win when we want. Without legs, we score. Without legs, we score. We don't even need legs. We score goals. Big up, Kula. Absolutely. Do you think we'll get into Europe? Sinead, you're asking a guy who's always glass half full here, Sinead. The pessimist in me thinks that Man United have got too many weaknesses. Maybe we'll squeeze the Europa League. There's overly zealous, maybe some people would say delusional side of me thinks we can get in the Champions League. But when I look at the delusional side of me, I say, well, we're only a couple of points from Chelsea, right? And they are Champions League contenders, so why can't we? And then I think that's true. But then, there's like two sides, like an angel and a devil on both sides, right? And one of them's telling me, but this, Man United's the way they play, they're just going to end up going 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. That's what Man United are going to do. And then there's the angel in me and saying, well, you know what? We're only 2 points from 4th. We've been given so many opportunities even this season. It's happened many, many times over the years. Man United have been granted opportunities, given opportunities in games, and given opportunities in the weekends in the Premier League fixtures, and we don't take it. And I just think that Man United is so mentally flawed that we never will take our opportunity because it puts a lot of pressure on us for some reason. I don't know what it is. It's like playing in sand or playing in cement or carrying a fridge on your back like that. It's like an overwhelming doom around Man United, every time we're granted an opportunity to do something positive. And that's what happens, whether it's a final, we get the odd win, of course we do. But in Europa League finals and things like that, and, in certain games, we don't handle adversity well. We don't even handle good things well. When we score, we get a little bit, what do we do now? Should we hold on to it? Man United are not relaxed. And this is something that might bite us on the backside. Now I'm looking at the AFCON. Man United are going to lose, obviously, Ahmad, Mazraoui, we've already lost, and in Bremo. And obviously, that's going to be a big issue for Man United, And I've always said it. I said, he who dares wins, he or she who dares wins. And you have to take adversity and you have to use it to advantage. Someone gives you lemons, make lemonade, of course, or send lemons. But what I would say is that I would predict Man United would get into the Europa League if I was gun to head right now. That's what I would predict. I hope we get into the Champions League. I really do. I just don't trust these players, Sinead. I don't trust these players. I really don't. I don't trust them. Even me saying them getting to the Europa League, I'm doing them an overly, how do you say it? I'm overly praising them. I'm overly rating them, to be honest, because I don't believe it, of course. Big up, Ellen. How you doing? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well, guys. Absolutely. Donin, good morning. We all know we need to pivot. Overall, last night was good attacking play, but defensive-wise, we missed Maguire, Martinez. Do you think we missed Mazraoui last night, guys? I want to ask you the question. Do you think that we missed Mazraoui last night? Because a lot of people are going to mention Mazraoui, but I feel like we missed him. To be honest with you, I think we missed the Mazraoui last night. Absolutely. Benny, I agree, Sal. We are not far from the Champions League spot. 3 or 4 players off the right character and a proper clear out in the summer and push again. Man United are not far away. This is what's so frustrating for me, Benny. They're not far away. It's up to Ineos and the Glazers to get their finger out and say, right, we're going to back Ruben Amorim. We're going to get him what he needs to go on home straight and get into that Champions League. I hope so. I really do. Ellen, Kobe was good when he came on. What a match. I was on the edge. Big up, Ellen. Hope you're well. Of course. We need to focus on your team and improve this team. Our golden years will come again for sure. We just not look at midfielders and wing back. Absolutely. We'll be back, guys. The cream always rises to the top. Absolutely. Big up, Sal. Haven't heard anyone talk about that how Kobe did. What do you think? Controlled, a proper midfielder. knows how to pass between the lines, knows how to get out of small spaces, looks like he played in midfield his whole life. That's what it is. Unlike Bruno, doesn't look like he's played in midfield his whole life. Looks like an attacking player. The problem is that we don't have a competent CDM. I don't know how many times I've said that. I don't think we have an athletic enough CDM, a mobile enough CDM. I think we need a CDM to complement Mainu. I think Mainu's a very good player. I think Mainu should be playing now in the next games against Villa, against other teams. He should be playing. I think that we should play a double pivot. I just don't think we are defensively sound enough, guys. Absolutely. Sal, did you see someone try to kick off against Said? It's embarrassing, the Gelgriff. Look, yeah, I know Arsenal had this in the past with AFT TV. What has happened to Man United? It's embarrassing. Said antagonizes them. Said goes outside Old Trafford, and I'm not dissing Said, right? Because I actually think I know him, right? But the thing is, what I would say is that Said goes outside Trafford next to G4S security guards and the police and spits and talks. And it annoys people, screaming and stuff like that. He's entitled to do it. Of course he is. But you're going to expect a backlash. That's life. You're going to expect a backlash. That's what's going to happen. Some people don't like him. And that's as simple as that. But this is where we are. Instead of concentrating on the problems of Man United, we're concentrating on a car park and Said in a car park. You know what I mean? And I think that's an issue, because it's banter. And if it isn't bad enough as it is, well, it's not that bad anyway. We're near the top four. But if it isn't bad enough as it is, we're getting people offering people out in car parks. I mean, it's just adding fuel to the fire in regards to the banter wagon, and I'm tired of it, and I think that we need to concentrate on the football. If you want to, you're entitled to go in the car park. You're entitled to say, offer players out, one day it's going to happen. One day we're going to hear a bad, sad story. I'll be honest. We're going to hear a sad story and it's going to be a travesty. He's lucky he stands next to police. I know where he stands. I see it. At the end of the day, I've seen it myself. I know where he stands. I'm not blind. I know where the G4S is and I know he has bare man around him. But, at the end of the day, just calm down, because it's not helping the cause as Man United. It's just, it's quite obvious that you're doing the same thing again and again because it grants you clicks, it grants you likes. Yesterday, you may not like it, but, you may not like it, but it's, he's filming it every single time because he knows it's going to get interaction. He knows it's going to get clicks and likes. And this is something that I want our fan base to move away from at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, it is toxicity. It is toxicity. And we are where Arsenal were. What they're doing, we are where Arsenal were when we're going, he's got to go. He's got to go. It's, like a bumper clock Z, you know what I mean? And, a bumper clock Yang and all that business from AFTV, guys. That's where we are at the moment, but we're on we're there. We've gone down to 2017. 2017 called back. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, 2017 called. They want their football team back. It's ridiculous at the end of the day, guys. It really is. Jamie, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. We missed Mass. Absolute experience. We was lacking at the back. I agree. Sinead, I don't either, but we need the money that Europe provides. We do. Absolutely, Sinead. Spot on. I hope we get it. Walton or Anderson is beside Mainu. Oh, would be brilliant, Benny. Would be brilliant. I would love it. Slicer Sasib. The side is going to get smacked off if he keeps up. I mean, look, one thing I would say in life, Slicer Sasib, as a kickboxer of 8 years, right? If you have never been in the ring, if you've never fought, if you've never been on a professional level of fighting or semi-pro, right? If you've never been on that level, right? If you've never done that, just stop it because you will get beaten up. And this is what will happen. I'm telling you, you will. You cannot fight the world. There's a guy called Bouncer D. I don't know if anyone's heard of Bouncer D. Bouncer D is a guy who collects debts, right, in America. He collects debts and he takes your car away and stuff like that if you don't collect the debt. Now, the key about Bouncer D is that he gets feisty. I would say it's an old word, but feisty. He gets a little bit all up in your face in regards to, if you don't, I'm going to beat the hell out of him. I'm going to choke you out. I'm going to do it. He does these kind of things, right? Many people, he's a fit lad, you know, probably can fight, but many people in the street, in his comments, say to him, bouncer, one day you're going to come across the wrong guy. You're going to come across the wrong guy. And that's why one day you're going to find a fighter who can fight better than you. He's fitter than you. Now, I look at Saeed with all due respect, right? The only thing that, you know, the thing is, the only thing that, you know, I don't even think he'll be able to move, you know, let alone fight. You know, so you could run rings around a guy like that. Rings, you know what I mean? Like, he won't be able to move like that. He'd be like a double-decker bus trying to, can you imagine him going like that? You just go to the side, slap him on the back of the head, go to the other side, slap him on the back of the head. You know what I mean? If you know how to do it, then you know, isn't it? And that's what I say. Be humble. Stop the nonsense. Stop it, and just support your football team. Call the game as it is. If people want to shout and smack and all that, if people want to do that, let them do that. Let them do that. But you know, it's just embarrassing as the Man United fan. I'll be honest. It's embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourself as a human being. You're embarrassing yourself. That's it. But I can turn around for my platform right now, right? I could turn around for my platform, for my Man United platform. I will have my head held high. No matter if I have less numbers, if I have less likes, if I have less clicks, my head will be held high. You know? Because I would turn around and say, well, you know, I've done music 20 years, worked to this, done this. And at the end of the day, I've done my platform as well. And I've got respect to my platform. I had people who used to hate me in the Man United fan base, right? That are now my friends, have been on this platform because they got to know me and stuff like that. You know, what we got to align ourselves with is maturity. Maturity, we are Man United. Why don't we do this? If someone comes up to you, is talking their smack, why don't you say this? Come here, let's have a chat. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the game. Let's have a chat. We're Man United. You know, we're family. We're Man United. Let's have a chat about it. Let's talk about it. Let's see what we can talk about. Let's see if we can organize and negotiate something here and to an element of an understanding. Let's see if we could do that. Come on the show. Rather than come on, I'll knock you out, blah 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 blah. That's what I said. Man dem minions. Man dem talk. That's what it is. It's the man dem talk, right? That is what Mandem is to me. That's the mentality. I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. That is exactly to a T what Mandem talk is, what I'm talking about. That is what I said. And that is what I've been talking about for a long time. The toxicity and Arsenal is definitely rubbing off on other teams, and you guys don't realize it. I agree, I do. Banter is banter, but there is a line that it cannot be crossed, absolutely. And it's going to end up getting in a big problem, isn't it, at the end of the day? Big up Ephraim. Who's Saeed? Don't worry, it's not important. Absolutely. Guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. I really appreciate you guys. Look, you know what? We have to move on. There's nothing else we can do. We got the game against Villa. It's going to be an incredibly difficult game, but don't be surprised if Man United win that game. The games that we expected to drop points in, we probably win. But guys, you know what I mean? What I would say is this, right? Look, he needs to be backed. We need midfields. We need mid-wing backs. Look at the thing in the bigger picture and don't just look at the simplistic thing, which is the formation and the tactics, because that is a very, very easy thing to do. Regardless of the tactics and regardless of the formation, we were exposed yesterday in all different formations, 4-4-2, 4-3-3, 3-4-2-1. Why? Because we didn't have the players to do it. You know, and that's what I would say. Guys, we move on. We move on to Villa, and obviously we've got Wolves as well coming up, so that should be a win. But the Villa game is going to be incredibly difficult. But AFCON is coming, of course, the next game. Guys, thank you as usual. Please, guys, if I can ask one thing, and there's some of you coming here, don't click a like. Could you just smash a like for me, guys? If you guys could do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. If you guys could do that for me, that'd be brilliant. Also, guys, please don't forget to subscribe if you're in the background. Of course, even if you're a rival fan, I do talk about other teams as well. And Also, don't forget to put your notifications on. That'd be absolutely fantastic, guys. Guys, you're absolute legends. Thank you. Chatterboxers, everyone, the members, absolute legends, guys. Great things coming for this channel. Keep it locked on Stretford Post. And I'll see you later on, guys. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. See you soon. Peace.